Welcome to Looking at the Markets with David Modell. What I wanted to talk about today was the best indicator of all really is you and your common sense and your judgment and your eyes, what you see in front of you on the chart. Yes, you can use RSI, you can use Bollinger Bands, MACD, Keltner channels, stochastics. You could use whatever indicators you want, moving averages, all of the above. But at the end of the day, if you're letting these indicators make the decision for you and you're not using your common sense, you're not using your judgment, and you're not using what your eyes see right in front of you, then it's probably not going to work out too well. All right, so let's look at some examples. I like to use moving averages. I also like to use RSI and Bollinger Bands. All right, so for example, here's a chart of Apple. And by the way, today is August 15th, 2016. Here's the Apple chart for today. And just want to give you some examples about how these indicators don't always work. And sometimes you just have to, I don't want to say ignore them. You can take them into account. You can make them part of your decision-making process, but they shouldn't override what your eyes see and your common sense. For example, if you had just used RSI blindly, just said to yourself right here, oh well, the RSI 14 period is telling me that Apple is oversold. Okay, it's below 30, so it's oversold, and so therefore I should just go ahead and buy calls, or just buy the stock, buy the common stock, go long, right? Right here, oversold. Well, at least short term, you wouldn't have done too well. All right, because it went into oversold territory and then stayed there for a while. And so if you had bought calls right here, especially short-term calls, you wouldn't have done too well. The time decay and the price action would have been pretty devastating to your short-term investment there. And don't get me wrong, if you had held on, it would have come back up. But just because the RSI goes below 30, RSI 14 period goes below 30, that's not an automatic buy signal. All right. Same with the Bollinger Bands. I mean, yes, it went below the bottom Bollinger Band, but this was an earnings event. And to keep in mind, after an earnings miss, a big earnings miss, for usually the next couple of weeks, analysts are going to downgrade a company or a stock after a big earnings miss. And so it should be no surprise that for the next couple of weeks, the stock continued to go down. And so just because it goes below the bottom Bollinger Band doesn't mean you automatically should go long at that exact moment. You have to, you look at the news and you look at what's going on in the overall markets. You watch the S&P 500 price action, and you use your eyes and ears and not just the indicators. All right. Now over here, if you had just used Bollinger Band, so you could see the candle pierced above the top band here. Okay, and if you just went by Bollinger Band overbought indication, then you'd say, oh well, I should buy puts here, or I should short Apple, and it's just gone up since then. So the Bollinger Bands don't always work, and it went into RSI on the RSI 14 period. It went into overbought territory. Above 70 is considered by many people to be overbought and too expensive, and that's when you short a stock or a company, or you buy puts or put spreads. But it's since it went into overbought territory on the indicator, it's just gone up, and so your puts or shorting Apple wouldn't have worked out too well, at least not so far. let's look at some other examples, and I think you'll see it, that these things don't always work. Here's Cisco, and right here, this has nothing to do with an earnings event or anything like that. This is just right here, according to the RSI indicator, it went into overbought territory. And so right here, right about here, somebody might say, oh, okay, well, that automatically means that I should go short or buy puts. And that has not worked out well at all. All right. Another example would be, here's FCX and Freeport McMoran, and right here it went into overbought territory on the RSI right here, right about here, and it's just gone up and up and up since then. All right, now if you had held on, you might have even, but it's the trend has just gone up and up and up and up since then. All right, so and the Bollinger Bands as well. It pierced, broke through that top band, which would mean, okay, it's too expensive, it's overbought, it's time to go short. But again, that has not worked out well at all, both in the short term, the immediate short term, the medium term, and the longer term. It's just gone up since then. Here's Microsoft, and right here, it went into overbought territory on the RSI. It's just gone up since then. Doesn't mean it won't come down. Maybe if you hold on, it'll come back down. But and right here, it pierced above the top band here, and it's just gone up since then. All right. Doesn't mean it never works. Sometimes it works quite well. It hit the bottom band here, and then if you'd bought here because you decided it was oversold because it pierced the bottom band, yeah, it went up since then. Okay, and it bounced off the bottom band here. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Over here, it pierced the bottom band and just kept going. And yes, it recovered, but it's not a perfect indicator. None of these indicators are perfect. So my message to you is, you got to use your common sense more than indicators. All right. You want to look at the momentum. You want to look at, sure, the moving day averages to decide whether the overall trend is up or down. That's a big part of it. You want to look at the overall market. Watch the spiders, SPY, okay, or SPX. Just you could watch the S&P 500. You can watch the Dow. You can watch NASDAQ if it's a tech stock that you're looking at, and use your own judgment. Do not blindly follow indicators, and definitely do not use one or two indicators as your only means of deciding whether to buy or sell. So while I recommend these indicators as guidelines to help you, it's not everything. And so if you'd like more help with this, with technical indicators and how to use them and how not to use them, or if you would just like to set up a trading plan, if you'd like some help with investing, trading, finance, stocks, options, I can certainly help you. My name is David Modell, and you can email me anytime at davidmodell@gmail.com. And if you like this video, please, by all means, give it a thumbs up on YouTube. Leave a comment if you like it, or if you have suggestions. I certainly appreciate that. And feel free to subscribe to my channel. I'm always trying to think of new educational content to put out there to help you with your trading and investing. So thanks a lot, and I'll talk to you soon.